everyone, it's me, Natalie, and I am here with my February TBR. I've been planning this TBR for a couple of weeks now, so I am so excited. It's the first day of February and I get to jump in and start reading. For a lot of people, it's Black History Month. For us in Australia, Black History Month is in July, so I'm going to wait until then. So I was hunting around for a theme that I could do for a readathon when I came across a bingo board, and I got super excited. I jumped all over that like a crazy woman. I've decided to participate in Readathons, which is a month-long readathon, and it has this bingo board, and I have picked books from my Goodreads want to read shelf that fit into the prompts that are on the bingo board. So I thought I would take you through the books I've picked for each prompt, and then there's my February TBR. So starting in the top row, the first prompt is Cold Shower, which means to pick a book with a steamy scene, and I don't know any of those books. But on my want to read shelf was Erotic Stories for Punjabi Widows. This has erotic in the title, so I'm claiming it as having a steamy scene, though I don't think it will, but this is as close as I could get. This is a story about a teacher who is a community teacher, and she comes across a group of widows who are all defined by white dupatters, is that what it's called? Anyway, I'd never heard of that before. So they live in, with modesty, and they've spent their lives raising their children and being very good women, but once this teacher gets to know them, she discovers this undercurrent of naughtiness. I don't think it's sexual naughtiness. I just think it is they're not living as modestly as they first appear. So yeah, I'm really interested in reading that. Plus set in India, huh? Very cool. The next prompt is Roses Are Red. So this is to read a book with red on the cover, and for that I have picked the book Ninja. I don't have a copy, it's at my library. I'm waiting patiently for it to come in. I don't know anything about it either. It was on my want to read shelf. It's Australian, and it is got red on the cover. The next prompt is Beautiful on the Shelf, and for this I have chosen The Atomic Weight of Love by Elizabeth J. Church. If you know some videos in the past, I love books about birds. This has birds on the cover, and for me, I love the drawings of different types of birds, and I think it's just beautiful. This is about a woman who falls in love. She's a scientist and very interested in all the same things that he is interested in, but the times tell her that she can't be a scientist and she can't pursue that career because she's a woman. So it's about her kind of resisting, what does it say on the back? It's about her resisting the clipping of her wings. Very nice pun there with the birds, I suppose. But yeah, it's just about a woman trying to forge her own path without the label of being a wife, which I like very much. So, and it's got a beautiful cover, I thought. The next prompt is Gift That Keeps Giving, and I have got Makioka Sisters. Sean from Sean the Book Maniac, he sent this to me. He's patiently waiting for my return present. Thank you, Sean. This was on my want to read shelf. I have wanted to read this, so it worked out really well. This is a story of 4 sisters in Japan and what they go through, I guess. It's sort of a family saga. I am dying to get into this, and I am so glad that Sean, who lives in Japan and Tokyo, sent this to me as well. So it's very special to me, and yeah, I'm very excited to read this book. The next prompt is Heartwarming, and I have chosen The Lost Flowers of Alice Hart. This is a book about flowers, and this cover makes me happy. I am a huge fan of nature and flowers. Each of these chapters is a different flower. So I'll flick one open for you. So it starts with the flower and works its way through, but it tells a story along the way. It's just my ultimate type of happy book. I'm also reading this with Kate Howe, which is exciting. I adore Kate's channel, so it'll be really exciting to jump on Voxer and chat to her along the way with this. So that will make my heart happy too. The next one is Forgotten Love, which is a book that you DNF'd. I am not going to read any of the books I've DNF'd. That sounds ridiculous to me. No thank you. But for this prompt, I have chosen an author who I didn't like, and I'm going to give them another go. So that's kind of the same thing. I went on a rant a while ago in Vlogmas about Rebecca by Daphne Du Maurier. I found that book painful. I didn't like it at all. I'll link my rant below just in case you want to laugh at it again. So in the comments of that video, Kelsey from Books with Kelsey said, I kind of can't really get into Daphne Du Maurier too. Maybe we could read one together. And we have chosen to read Jamaica Inn. It's not, the front cover's a bit funny. We're going to give this a go. So I'm claiming this as Forgotten Love because I'm not reading a DNF'd book. I would never have picked up a Daphne Du Maurier book unless Kelsey suggested it. She was done to me. I didn't need to read any more of her stuff. So this will be interesting. I need to change my mindset, don't I? I am looking forward to trying Daphne Du Maurier again. Is that better? Okay. There is a Black History Month prompt, and I'm going to fulfill that with an Indigenous writer. And this is Beneath the Mother Tree by D.M. Cameron. So this is a mystery, but it's also mixed with a bit of Indigenous folklore. So it's set on a small island, and there's beautiful music that gets played, and one of the elders thinks that it is, you know, one of the, what did he call it? It's the dark servant of the fairy queen that is playing this music. But then his granddaughter finds a mysterious flute player, and then there's other people that have moved to the island, and then there's some murders or people go missing, and yeah, it's all mixed in together. But I'm interested to read about the Indigenous folklore stuff. Hopefully there's a lot of Indigenous folklore in here. That's what I'm picked it up for. So fingers crossed it's not some bad whodunit on a small island. Oh God, wish me luck with this one. The next prompt is Puppy Love, and that's to read a middle grade book, and I have Nevermore. That is sitting here waiting to be read. I bought it for my son, and he's not interested in picking it up because he's totally into graphic novels and Teen Titans and all that sort of stuff, but we don't read together much anymore, my elder son, and I find that really sad. So I think that I'm going to force him to read this with me. He's gonna love that. The next prompt is Living Single, which is to pick a standalone book, and on my February want to read shelf spreadsheet I have a book called The Watchtower, which is an Australian classic. I think it's set in the 60s or 70s. It's got something to do with Sydney. Don't know much more than that. It was on my list of February books to read, so I picked that one. The next prompt is Together Forever, and that is to do a buddy read. I'm doing 3 buddy reads this month, but for this I've picked the buddy read I'm doing with my sister. We are reading In Cold Blood by Truman Capote. I am already 73 pages in and I am freaking out. Lots of people say they love it. It's great. It's just freaking me out. So yeah, I'm intrigued and I can't wait to read more of this, and I know my sister feels the same. So yeah, it's fun to do a buddy read with her. So that's my Together Forever prompt. In fact, that's quite disturbing that this is about Together Forever and doing buddy reads, and this is about a murder of a family, and I'm doing it with my sister. Oh God, there's links there I don't want to really delve into. The next prompt is By Any Other Name, which is about banned books and picking a banned book. This is called Lady Fox Her Luck. This was banned in Australia because it was too naughty. Maybe this will be my steamy scene one as well. Though it was published in, let me check. It was first published in the US in 1946, so probably hand-holding was risque then, I don't know. But yeah, this is not allowed. Banned from Australia by some prude. It says on the back it was widely attacked as a slur on womanhood in general. Ooh! Lady Fox has offended because it presented a woman's account of her sexual and emotional life without following the prescribed formula for females of modesty. Blah. Sounds ridiculous. It follows a woman set in America. I don't know much more than that, but I know that it was banned in Australia, and I think that's hilarious. So give it a read. So the next two prompts I'm going to put together, and that is 5 stars, so that's a 5-star read, and More to Love, which is about a book that's over 400 pages. And for that I'm going to choose Pachinko, and I'm waiting patiently. I've had it on reserve from the library for ages. There's lots of people that want to get their hands on this book, so hopefully it comes in time. You all know about Pachinko. Everybody's read it, I think. It's set in Korea in the early 1900s. That interests me. That's all I need to know. Yeah, so I'm really excited to finally read it. I've heard so many good things. The next prompt is Happily Ever After, and so that's the retelling of a fairy tale. I don't do fairy tales. It's not my gig. So I tried to find a retelling of some sort of history or some sort of story, and I have found The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, which was in my stash. Wanted to read this for ages. Yeah, set in where? Greece. Set in Greece in the Age of the Heroes, I guess. Everybody knows about The Song of Achilles by now. I'm excited to finally get to it. And that's kind of a retelling of a fable or retelling of actual history. Not too sure. Don't care. It's a retelling. Nailed it. The next prompt is Skinny Love, and that's to read a book that's under 200 pages. I've got, Margaret the First by Danielle Dutton. This is a tiny little fella, and I've actually already started it this morning. It is just an account of Margaret Cavendish, who wanted to write and wanted to paint and wanted to do all of those sorts of things, but lived in the 1600s where no way, you can't do that. You just have to sit there and look pretty. This is a novel. This isn't non-fiction, but it's just a story about who Margaret Cavendish, Margaret the First, was, about her marriage, which was kind of against, she was a lady in waiting for the Queen, so it was kind of against what could happen, and also about her artistic endeavours, which kind of were pioneering in those times. So yeah, I'm excited, and I know this is going to send me down rabbit holes. I already know that there are so many gaps in my knowledge of this time period that I'm writing notes furiously. So yeah, we will see how I cope with this book and this rabbit hole. It's going to be fun. And the last prompt is Sharing is Caring, which is about participating in another readathon for the month. And when I saw that, I freaked out because I thought, how am I going to read all of these books, as well as do that? But luckily, I had already had a plan with the lovely Kelly from Books I'm Not Reading. Her and I have been talking about our love of the Amory Ames series by Ashley Weaver. Sorry, I had to check. We've both read the first book, Murder at the Brightwell. I think there's 6 books in all. And then we had planned to read the second book together. So that's what I'm going to pick for this prompt, is Death Wears a Mask. It is, Amory Ames is this fun, confident woman who, I just adore her style. That's what it is. I love her style. She's just so cool. I just totally aspire to be her. These are fun mysteries, but they're not plain and boring, and the ending is always a bit of a twist. And I had so much fun with Murder at the Brightwell. I can't wait to read the next book in the series, and I get to read it with Kelly, which is even more fun. So that's it. That's my February TBR for Valentine's. It's huge. The most books I've read in a month is 10. So this is 14 books, and I've only ever read 10 before. I don't need to read a big amount, but I really want to make reading my focus this month. I'm excited to read, so I need to get all of that energy going. I have my first month in 2 months without children with me every day, so I have plenty of time, and I don't want to waste it on screens or doing things that don't fulfill me and make me happy. And right now, reading is the thing that makes me happy. So wish me luck. If you've read any of these books or you want to read any of these books, let me know in the comments. I love chatting. And if you're hanging out in Valentine's world for February, let me know too. I need a Valentine's buddy, though I'm sure I'll make friends. This is a really enthusiastic readathon with lots of hosts. I'll link the video that I saw first below, and then you can go down the the rabbit hole of it, but there's Twitter sprints and there's all sorts of things going on that I'm not really used to. So I don't know if I'll get involved in all of that. I think I'll just run my own race. But I'm just excited to tick off the bingo card, really, and have some fun with that. Okay, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I will talk to you again soon. Bye.